Biden pulled back up. We didn't even know that Biden was still alive. So the latest version of the Manchurian candidate pulled back up, and we know him as Sleepy Joe, a.k.a. Joe Biden. All right. Joe Biden, apparently somebody booked him to do a speech, and so he pulled up to have his conversation with the people, and this is what he had to say.
To ask the governor to take over, by the way. But look what's happened now. Fewer than 100 days, this new administration has made done so much damage. And
he talks so slow, right? I wonder we didn't do a whole lot of review videos of Biden back when he was in office. We just talked about the things that he was doing wrong. It's so much different. Hey, we can't even appreciate what we have until we see what the alternative was. He looks like Cryptor. He looks like he's 3 steps away, and he got on all the makeup and all of the extra, they put his suit on for him and stuff like that. He looks like Nicolas Cage in, what is that, Ghost Rider or something like that, Hell Rider or whatever, Hellboy or something. He looks like Nicolas Cage. Come on, speed it up, Biden.
And so much destruction. It's kind of breathtaking it could happen that soon. They've taken a hatchet to the Social Security Administration, pushing an additional 7,000 employees, 7,000 out the door in that time, including the most seasoned career officials.
He can't even talk. He's including the most seasoned career officials.
Now they're getting ready to push thousands more out the door. Already we can see the effects. For example, thousands of people use the Social Security website every single day to check on their benefits and submit their claims. But now, the technology division of Social Security Administration has been cut in half. And so the website's crashing.
Is the website up? What is the Social Security website at? Social Security website, Social Security Administration. It looks like it's up to me. Pretty pedestrian, straightforward. I'm trying to understand what the problem is. It looks like it's pretty up to me. Have y'all ever been to the Social Security Administration website? If you need to visit an office, schedule an appointment to find out what to know about proving your identity, benefits, Medicare, apply for benefits. Did anybody tell him that the Social Security website is up and is running full-fledged and there's nothing wrong with it? Sometimes they just be saying stuff, and so I have to make sure that I go and check for myself. Look like it's working pretty well to me.
People can't sign on to their accounts. What do you think it does to that woman's living alone at 74 years checking and just not able to even find out whether she can't even find out what that disability claim is she has?
What?
She can't file a new disability claim. And a lot of these people are being told incorrectly that their benefits have ended.
What is he talking about? Is somebody, the one thing I hate when people do stuff like this. They'll use some fictional characters, some far out, we used to call them in the UX UI space, we used to call them, gosh, what did we used to call them? I'll pull it up and I'll show y'all what we used to call them.
Folks, imagine the panic that causes if you're a retiree living alone with only Social Security to depend upon.
Personas. Have y'all ever seen what a persona is? I'll show you what a persona is shortly if I can pull it up.
So now people are overwhelming the phone lines. They're showing up at the local Social Security office, tearful and frantic, and told, "Do you have an appointment?" In that tone, by the way. I can give you a personal example if I'm not going to them. To cap it all off, serious people are now generally concerned for the first time in history, for the first and only time in history, that Social Security benefits may be delayed or interrupted. Folks, let's put this in perspective. In the 90 years since Franklin Roosevelt created the Social Security system,
Spit it out, big
people
dog.
have always gotten their Social Security checks. They've gotten them during wartime, during recessions, during a pandemic. No matter what, they got them. But now, for the first time ever, that might change.
He can't find anything. See, none of these people can truly criticize Trump on any of his policies. They can't criticize him on anything with regard to the Chinese war. They can't find anything whatsoever about what is wrong with the things that Trump is doing. And so what they wind up doing is they use an extreme example and then they make it up so that they can try to justify whatever it is that they're trying to justify to make people angry at the fact that the Trump administration is absolutely positively doing some awesome things. So, for example, I'll share this with you guys, and let me see if I can blow this up for you. What in the UX UI world we created, and I'm gonna just pull a Google image so that you guys can better understand it. We pull up what we think are, or what we create, what we know to be personas. Now, a persona is something that actually speaks to the application that you're designing, but it's all made up and it's all there to try to solve for. Sometimes you do these UX UI interviews and other times you don't, but it's all there so that you can try to solve for whatever the issue is. So, for example, in this persona right here, we gave him a name, or they gave him a name named Clark Andrews. He's 26. He's a software developer. He's single. He's over in California. This is his tier. So it's kind of sort of like a LinkedIn profile, but in essence, it's something to help us to speak to whatever the issues are. It may tell you what kind of computer that he uses, whether he has an Android or an iPhone, what he loves, the brand that's great in there, what his personality is, whether he loves operating on a mobile device, or if he ever actually uses his laptop to access Twitter or Instagram or any of this type of stuff. And so the persona speaks to whatever it is that you're trying to solve the problem for. What politicians often do is that they create this mythical persona off of the top of their head in order to try to make you feel some type of way about the problem that they're trying to present to you or speak to. So they'll say, and what about the 74-year-old grandpa over in Delaware who has no internet connection? And we've been trying to get laws passed to get them internet connections in rural places. And their children are all gone. And their son actually got into an accident. And when they try to submit that disability claim, they're not able to do it because the Social Security website crashed. What is she supposed to do? Now, that is supposed to pull on your heartstrings so that you can say, no. Add all of this fraud, waste, and abuse back into the Social Security Administration, at an unsustainable level so that we can run up the national deficit, increase inflation, even though inflation is at a historic low. Last I checked, I believe that inflation was at 2.7 or 2.4%. I believe inflation was at like 2.4%. I could be wrong on that. It may have adjusted here or there. But they use these long, drawn-out analogies of what a persona is to try to paint a picture, and it is a classic strategy in both corporate America and politics, right? A lot of times when politicians are on a campaign trail, they'll say, and I spoke with this woman over in Omaha, and she came up to me and she said that her plant was closing and they don't know what they're going to do as far as jobs. This is the reason why we have this bill and we're trying to pass it through. Now, the reason that they got the bill and they're trying to pass it through has nothing to do whatsoever with this made-up woman that's over in Omaha. And she said that she's raising 2 kids alone. It is a classic case in both corporate America and in politics to appeal to your emotions instead of your logic of what decisions that we need to be making from a policy perspective. And this is why they use it to play. Often at times it works the most on younger people and liberals. They use it to play on your emotions so that you can vote emotionally instead of voting based off of what makes the most sense. And this is a classic case of what Biden is doing, because he has no way to actually justify saying anything negative against Trump, so then they appeal to your emotions instead of appealing to logic.
It would be calamity for millions of families, millions of people.
See?
But the current Secretary of Commerce doesn't seem to get it. Or based on his comments, he doesn't seem to even care. Many of you saw what he said the other day. And by the way, he's a billionaire. God love him, as my mother would say.
Another persona. Look at this dude. Look at him in this picture right here. He don't even look like he got teeth. He doesn't even look like he has teeth. They're using another personification. Oh, and by the way, they're a billionaire, so they don't even really care about you.
Paying 8.5% in taxes. All right. Billionaires, I don't know what he's paying.
We don't even know what he's saying.
When he talked about the possibility of Social Security checks not going out this month, he shrugged it off. Here's what he said. He said his 94-year-old mother-in-law wouldn't complain, wouldn't bother her. She's probably a lovely woman. No kidding. Her son
is a billionaire. No kidding. Tell us we didn't know that this punchline was coming, y'all.
is a billionaire. What about that 94-year-old mother living all by herself? Doesn't have a billionaire in the family. Or all the retirees who depend on that monthly check to...
I'm telling you that this is, once you learn it, once you see it, you're not able to unsee it. What about that 94-year-old woman that's over there in Ohio, in rural Ohio, and her son isn't a billionaire? It works every time to appeal to people that are emotional, and this is one of the reasons why you have to make sure that you temper the emotions of a lot of women.
Feed themselves. All those people with disabilities have no other source. What about all those people? That's who you fight for. So those who desperately need you. And folks, it's not just the Secretary of Commerce. We heard how others empowered and emboldened.
No way in hell. So I had the longer version of the speech. Look, you don't believe me? I got it right here. I got the longer version of the speech. And this version of the speech, the MSNBC one, the one that didn't get a lot of views.
It's my grade.
This one is 26 minutes long. No way in hell I'll be able to sit through a 26-minute long speech from Joe Biden. So we brought up the 4-minute one, the one that he had the most incendiary things to say about the Trump administration. Wasn't much at all. But we brought up the 4-minute one to show you what it is that you were missing in a Biden presidency. Thank you, Biden, for reminding us what we don't want. Could you imagine 4 more years of this guy sleeping at the wheel and letting illegal migrants inside of this country? Hell. No way, no how.